I was very, very, very convinced that I want to be the biggest I can be. Self-conviction. If you look at my mantras, I lived truth with a torch shining. That's what I live on. There is never a ready time, by the way. There is never, 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 never a ready time. If it's somebody telling you don't go, just throw off that person. I had a beautiful opportunity to draft policies for reproductive health for the region. I was coordinating health. There were no clinics, there was no staffing. I established 3 clinics serving almost 800,000 displaced persons, but being saved by gunmen because they remember me going to deliver a child of a governor's wife, and we will not touch you, but this is not good for you.
My reader this week was a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And it caught me asking myself, is there a meaning really? You know, if meaning and purpose was something that you'll go and buy in a shop, everybody will go and buy it. If meaning and purpose was something that you go to a program and you're taught and you get it, I believe everybody will get into that particular program. Because nobody loves to live a life which is not meaningful and purposeful. And I think you can agree with me on that. As I was reading the book, I discovered one thing, that meaning and purpose is not acquired within a day. Not at all. It is acquired through exploration. So the more you explore, the more you get closer to your meaning and purpose. And I know a lot of you will ask me, then does it mean that you just keep on exploring and you're going to get your meaning and purpose? And this is what I'll say, not at all. You have to explore, but you have to explore it right. So the next question will be, how do you explore it right? You use 2 tools. And these tools are what we call your true north and what we call your clues. Just allow me to take you deep into both of them, just a bit of it, right? What is a true north? We say a true north, it is you, your beliefs, your values, that impact and the legacy that you want to leave both in life and also in work. And a bit of personal growth and development that you again have in life and work. Holistically, that is what forms your true north. In a nutshell, when you talk about the true north, this is the thing that I want you to see. A true north is that thing that looks like your career compass. The things that always tells you, hey, you know what, Anne-Marie? You are in the wrong job. You know what, Anne-Marie? You're in a wrong space. You need to get out of here. It doesn't align with your value. That is a true north. The other tool is what we call the clues. We have 2 types of clues. The first thing is what we call energy, and the other thing is what we call the engagement. So when you combine high energy and high engagement, they take you to a state that we call a state of flow. So what is this state and how does it look like? We say a state of flow, it is that state where you are highly engaged and highly immersed in something. And I just want you to look at what you do in terms of your job. And I'm very sure there's an activity or an item that you do in a job. And anytime when you're doing it, you always look at time really flies very fast. So when you explore, and you explore using the 2 tools, that is the true north and the clues, they'll definitely take you into that state that we are calling it a state of meaning and purpose. In my previous conversation, in my radio show, I had an opportunity to bring a guest who has lived that, right? This is a lady who started up her career journey from a state of just diving into the job market and doing and getting a job. As simple as that. No meaning, no purpose, right? But she kept on exploring, using her true north and using the clues that were signaling to her that this is what is giving me much traction. And where she is right now, you'll hear her story. She's living a meaningful and a purposeful life. Now, you know what? I want us to dive into the conversation. Bridget, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And how are you doing?
Amazing. And how are you?
I'm quite good. Nice to have you today.
Very happy to be here.
Yes. So, Bridget, just tell us, who is this lady that you are seeing here smiling? Very excited. Who are you? Who is Bridget?
Bridget is It's just a woman doing life. Bridget is a girl who's founded on many things. She's one who's done humanitarian work for over 20 years. 20 years that have been culminating from being medical person to an administration person to a UN staff member, an East African community staff member. And yeah, that's what I am. I am a mom. I am a grandmom. I am a sister. I am a daughter. And a woman of grace. That's what I call myself. Yes.
Such amazing many titles, you know? I'm just trying to put them together. So, Bridget, you've just mentioned something about you being a humanitarian. How many years?
Oh, if you allow me to take you step by step on where I was, where I am. I started off as a clinical nurse in a hospital in Mombasa, where I was taking care of accidents and emergencies. From accidents and emergencies, I became a charge nurse, a team leader. From being a team leader, doing just administration management, something cracked in me that wanted to do more. That's how I found myself leaving bedside nursing to public health, where I found myself in the Dadaab doing public health, reproductive health, HIV/AIDS among the refugees in the Dadaab. From the Dadaab to doing something bigger, working with district health management teams in Wajir. And the wings grew longer, wider to the East African community, where I found myself being in charge of the reproductive health programs, sitting, making policies, convincing principal secretaries, senior officials, heads of states to adapt and approve policies which translated to budgets for the East African people, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi. So I transversed all those countries. It was beautiful sitting there doing policy. I wanted to do more, but there comes a time when somebody has to move. Left East African community to go to South Sudan, where I was managing again health programs. From South Sudan, I faced quite, maybe at a later time in this interview can talk about it, where I faced serious security concerns, including losing staff members, but being saved by gunmen because they remember me going to deliver a child of a governor's wife, and we will not touch you, but this is not good for you. And I started thinking, do I want to stay here? Do I want to move? I came back to the country. I love emergency interventions even to date. I love joining emergencies. I found myself getting off from clinical work to pure reproductive health, public health, intersector, multi-sector interventions, which found me going to coordinate health programs for an international organization in Yemen. Yes, Yemen, you heard right. I went to Yemen. I didn't know where Yemen was, but I took my wings there. And within 2 years, I got this powerful shift to the mighty UN. I say UN with a lot of pride because that's one thing that I really aspired to achieve. I stayed there for 6 years, serving as an intercluster coordinator, cluster meaning sector. And within the process, I found myself wanting to do more, to go and form, to go and support and make a shift of the other part of me that always supported people, but now wanted to do it formally out there. And that's where I am. That's what I am doing now.
A beautiful journey, right? And when you were just mentioning your journey, Bridget, I could just hear somebody growing from one role to another role to another role, just in maybe 4 points. What kept you moving? What made you become aggressive to move from point 1 to point 2?
I was very, very, very convinced that I want to be the biggest I can be. Self-conviction inside me. I admired people in high positions. I admired people who are thriving. And I kept asking myself, why can't I thrive as well? Is there anything stopping me? So every time I did anything, I want to thrive. So self-conviction. Looking up to role models was the second thing. I wanted to be like so and so. I wanted to reach where so and so has reached. And then the appetite to serve more, to serve in a more influential position and stand to be counted. Last but not least, I just wanted to make impact. And I couldn't make impact when I am down here. Of course, I made impact in the different things I did, but I wanted to make impact where I am here where I am. And I felt I couldn't do it when I'm in these down positions. So every time I wanted to get more, higher and higher and higher.
Being away for many years, that's why I'm calling you a tourist here in Kenya, right? Beside Kenya is home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How was it being a mom? You've just mentioned that you're a mom. You've just mentioned that you're a daughter to somebody, right? You've just mentioned that you're a sister, an auntie, a cousin to people, right? How was it?
And a grandma.
And a grandma. How can I forget that for really?
You look young. Oh, God's grace, God's grace. The most useful, greatest gift I ever got was the support of my family. Whenever I was looking for positions, I was very honest with them. This is it. This is the location. It would be difficult. What will happen? Are you safe? What will happen? They always supported me. I most importantly stayed connected to my family. When I'm out there, through almost daily WhatsApp calls, which made me even have mom have a phone that she can do WhatsApp so that she can see me. And above all, convinced by my own capacity as a woman to manage, despite that women are looked down upon out there. I kept my success shining. I never kept any women attitude or women anything pulling me down to shine. I kept my torch. If you look at my mantras, I lived truth with a torch shining. That's what I live on. I struggled quite a bit in the first 11 years of my daughter's life because she never knew me as a mother. She always called me auntie, mommy, and my mom was called mother, until all of us now adopted the word mother. If you come home, you'll hear even me calling myself my own mother. But my family remained the strongest support. They held my baby when I was very young. She went through her holidays with my mom and my sisters to where she was. We connected up here when she's already in college, and I'm out there in Yemen, South Sudan. But it was beautiful getting that support. But what made it even creamier is I always came back home for any short, small holiday I got. Whether monthly, whether every 3 months, whether 6 months, I always came home. When others are going on holiday, I came on holiday at home. Yes.
Interesting to hear that. You have just talked about impact, right? And you have dealt with so many projects, worked in different countries, Bridget. You know, I'm almost calling you a tourist here in Kenya. And you're a Kenyan, right? So, Bridget, give us the scenario, how they were, what the duty was, what the task was, and what was the result, and how you just felt a beautiful feel looking at what you have done.
Amazing. One of the most impactful things I ever did in my life was while I was at the East African community. I had a beautiful opportunity to draft policies for reproductive health for the region. I sat in the secretariat. I coordinated with the different senior officials in the partner states, the countries, and through and with my team, the director of our sector as well. This was taken up to the heads of states levels. To date, I look back things that are being implemented, policies, funding, staffing, all those came because I held the first impactful position. That one, the most important. The second other most important life achievement was in South Sudan, where I go to this place where there is nothing, fully nothing in terms of, I was coordinating health. There were no clinics, there was no staffing. I established 3 clinics serving almost 800,000 displaced persons. And that's where I had that life-saving bit of working with the communities to bring health to the people. I don't know if they still exist now, but that meant a lot to me. The last but not least, most impactful was strengthening my local national staff who worked with me. Where I found this staff member who was never confident to do anything. To him, by the time I was leaving, him was able to take reports, sit in policy tables, defend those policies, do those reports. They are sent to New York. To date, he's the best performing staff member in the system. He's most talked about. And you know what he says? I learned from my teacher. I am your humble student. Oh, that makes me very happy.
Interesting. Those are very, very impactful, you know? Very impactful. I can just imagine like the one for South Sudan. I can just imagine the policies that you're using in the reproduction health. Yeah, East Africa, you just mentioned about that. I think that's good, Mark. And of course, the hand that you have given to the people who have been beneath you, right? Bridget, you have been a leader. All those that you've just mentioned, you are not a tactical person. You are somebody in leadership, making the policies and etc. How was it being a woman, getting into those roles? First, answer this. What are some of the things that give you the strength to be in those roles? Number one. And the second one, how did you maintain leadership?
Right. Tough question, eh? First, I must remind myself and everyone, being a woman is, first of all, a problem by itself. One has to work as 10 times as hard as men to get the same, if you ever get the same package that the men will get. Standing out as a woman, they will see the man before they see you. That was tough in areas where they are male dominated, particularly in some of the countries I worked. It was tough to see qualified me being denied a role that a man was just given. And somebody once said, I remember, it's because he's a man. Okay, it's fine. How did I stand out? I believed in myself, self-conviction, self-belief. I never took the no for an answer. I never took the hard for an answer. I went for what I thought was useful. But most important, I equipped myself with the required skills. If I read the job description, for example, requiring you to have a training in this, leadership in this, I went for those skills and packaged them. I have a list of skills that I packaged. But I also networked with people. I identified people that I could pull when I needed support. But I also made myself also very vulnerable to, not really vulnerable, but available to be supported. And through that, I gained courage. My conviction got better and better. And I could express myself and go for the position by applying for them, by asking for them, and by actually making sure that somebody knows, hey, I'm thinking of doing this and this. Hey, I can do this and this. And I speak up. I always spoke up in meetings, maybe sometimes never went well. I always spoke up in meetings. I always went for positions that I thought I qualified for. I asked, not just going for them, but literally asked my management or asked the people responsible. So knowing the person to talk to, not to talk to as in to talk to about a position, but to guide me, and networking and making myself, packaging myself in a way that I'm qualified for the positions, and then going for the positions with conviction.
Hey, I know sometimes we feel very lonely in our career. I know sometimes we feel overwhelmed. And that is why we created a safe space for professionals like you. A space where you're not alone again. You have a community of like-minded people that work together, share together, and they grow each other. A space that there are support systems from coaches that enable you to be accountable in each and every goal that you're set in your career. A space where you are allowed to explore in your career. There's no judgment. You dive deep together with a coach, they show you the way, and then you come up with a clarity and they hold your hand until the end. A space where we'll explore your holistic you, because sometimes we get stuck or we feel overwhelmed in our career, not because our job is too much, but because we are not holistic. And if you're not holistic, you'll always be overwhelmed. And finally, a space that will hold your hand. The space is called High Advice Inner Circle. This is a private membership community that is designed for professionals like you, who are looking for growth in their career and who are looking for holistic growth. Unfortunately, we have only limited slots, 10 to be precise. So if you want to be a member of this particular private community, I want you to hit the link at the description button and book a slot. Let's proceed with the conversation. What was the transition between you being an executive at UN, right? And now to this other you, right? But before we get that, what are you doing currently?
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I am currently working as small scale as it could be, working with young women, young leaders. I call them seasoned professionals, faith-based organizations, to help people literally go for it, like rise up and thrive. It is okay. You don't have to get stuck. Please move. So I help people to identify their opportunities, their strengths, and rise with them. Help them to go for either positions for those who are looking to grow, for organizations who are looking to apply for bigger grants, expand their programming, and also for individuals who are really not clear of what they want. So journeying with people to hear their story and help them shape them up. And I call it Rise to Thrive. That's the name I give it.
Yes.
In terms of, the second part you asked, Anne-Marie, was in terms of the transition. When time came that I had to transition, I honestly don't know if I was ready for the transition, but I went into the transition with a positive mindset that just go, it's okay, something will happen, something will come up. And for the first 3 months, I didn't realize how much I needed to rest, to re-strategize, to regroup and refocus myself. But I then discovered, I know what I want ahead. So during these 7 months, I have done a lot of repackaging. I have done a lot of courses, including beautifully enrolling for my PhD. I'm happy I'm in the second semester now. It's beautiful to see myself making it a reality at last. I packed it because I was busy working, but now I'm learning with it.
What are some of the things that made you, even if it's just one thing, that made you to take a break and reposition? Because there are so many people who are just living, coexisting, and pushing by, right? Because of course they need to do their bills, they need to maintain their social status, right? You can imagine telling people that, hey, I'm getting out of here and to go and start my own. They look at you like, are you serious? You know, there's so many people who are in that cocoon and they're looking for a chance to do a transition, but they don't have a room. So for you as Bridget, what is that thing that made you to take the move of transitioning?
Honestly speaking, I just decided just do it.
Enough is enough.
Self-conviction that I can't postpone this anymore. There is never a ready time, by the way. There's never a ready time. Even as I sit into this, I look back. Did I make a mistake? Oh, it's okay. Even if it was a mistake, I am moving on. I am learning. Just the idea that it's time to move, whatever it is time to move. Just hit the road run.
Oh, that is so courageous. You know, just deciding that enough is enough. I want us to talk about this, Bridget, because it's a big pain to people who are especially in employment, right? And they feel like they're at the threshold, but they can't act. From your story, what took you to the threshold? Just give us a picture. What made you feel like, oh my God, this is enough. I can't do this anymore?
Quite tricky to really put a finger on it, but one of the things is the drive was starting to die down. I move with drive. I move with, I like to say the flow. There was no flow anymore. I was going, I was coming back. I was going, I was coming back, but I didn't have hands-on something. I didn't see that I was getting myself anywhere. My mind kept ringing. It's time. Trust yourself. Go. It's time. But most urging me that got me out was just, it's enough. I just can't do this anymore. It's enough. And when the drive died down, there wasn't anything making me stay anymore. So I just decided for enough is enough. I went for it. But deep down, I was very worried about the survival out there. But look at it, 7 months later, glory. By the grace of God. So there was a lot of conviction. There was a lot of identification of my purpose. And am I achieving any purpose anymore? No. Is it time to make a difference? Yes. I went for it.
I think I like that, right? Bridget, by that time, I just want us to still be in that state, right? By that time, how did it even affect you physically, emotionally? Feeling empty, because that's a feeling of emptiness, right? Like, what am I doing? Is it impactful? Or I'm just coming here, getting big salaries because I'm at UN, right? And going home, nothing. I'm just so empty. How did it affect you, one, personally, in terms of maybe your physical, your mental, your emotional? How did it even affect you socially? Did you feel timid? What are some of the effects that you saw physically?
Oh, I am an example of I am a girl of grace. I live today because God just held my hand. I will tell you that my health was greatly impacted, very greatly impacted by these movements. I count in 8 years a record, 5 medical evacuations. I don't remember when I didn't restrict myself on don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, because any little irritant could actually cause a blow up. But most importantly, I was always tired. Always tired. My first 3 months when I came back, just sleeping. The time I stayed in Nairobi until my mom was like, Bridget, what are you doing in Nairobi and you don't have a job? And I was, Mommy, I am resting. The exhaustion, mentally, physically, emotionally, to a large extent, spiritually, because I never had anywhere to go to church. I never had any opportunity to even do fellowships or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's something that you could say it used to magnify to my body.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes,
Right.
sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Now I just want to hear you. The health bit, right? After you took that break, are you eating everything?
This girl, he should just ask my daughter or my mom. They are my measures of success. They're like, you're becoming 10 years. So yes, physically I feel better. I look better. I live with a lot of motivation and excitement. And I actually, I don't remember when I last went to the doctor. Yeah. And yes, I deal with a few health challenges, but they are completely at bay. They are completely under control. And I'm happy. Yeah.
Now, just take us through now the transition of what you're doing, because it sounds so fulfilling. Even by how you're explaining it, you sound so contented with what you're doing, right? How do you feel being in a space where it aligns? That is the word. It aligns with you. How did you feel when that day came and you are like, wow, this thing that I'm doing, I'm just feeling, excited about it. I can do this over and over again. Yes, it's tedious, but emotionally, it's very arising, right? How did you feel when you got this space?
It didn't at the beginning. Interesting that it looked fake. It didn't sound like it was okay. It didn't sound like anything will bloom out of it.
And the whole feeling looked fake.
It's like
am I sure? Am I sure? You're used to your stress.
Like time, do this. But wait a minute. Like when I formed my first women group that I'm working with, I just 1, 2, 3, ta 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 ta. And easy. Seeing people excited about the result, seeing people happy. And I'm like, it can happen. It is happening. So at the beginning, it didn't look so real. But step by step, it became that which makes me happy. And I would say that my excitement comes through somebody calling and thank you for what you did. Just that makes me feel comfortable. I'm a happy girl, I see.
I want you to speak with a woman who is struggling to bounce back to the bond between them and their kid, right? What will you speak to this woman who wants to do things, who wants to do more, but they're tied back being caregivers?
Oh, yes, it is difficult. Practically, it is very difficult. But as a woman, first, make sure you grab all the required training skills you need to have for any position you need to go for that we mentioned earlier. 2, as a woman, identify the supportive part of your social system. Do not deal with the negative. If it's somebody telling you don't go, huyo tupilia mbali, just throw off that person. Deal with that relative who is willing to stay with your children. Deal with that mother, that father, that sister, that brother, that husband, that cousin, or whoever that is willing to support your children while you are away. But above everything, have frank conversations. Don't be held back. You're capable by the fact that you're qualified. But don't be held back by anything. Push yourself. Be your own motivation. But most importantly, be frank with your children, with your spouse if you have one, with your siblings, with your parents, or with your significant other, so they know what to expect. You are going away for this length of time. You are going to be available to come back every 6 months, every 2 months, every 1 month. That helps a lot. But above all, please, 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 woman, believe in yourself. You are able to go to any exploits, but believe in yourself. And not just believe, go for it.
So thank you so much, Bridget, for that amazing story, right? Yes. Maybe some 2 pointers that you can leave us with.
2 things I would like to say. If one realizes that things are not working out, you're not failing. It is just okay. It's normal to have that feeling that things are not the way they're supposed to be. It's actually a pointer that it's time to do something about whatever you need to do now. And the second thing, identify people to walk with you. Identify people to journey with you. And it's perfectly okay to seek for help. Perfectly okay. It's okay to get stuck. It's normal to get stuck. But don't stay stuck. Just seek people to walk with you. Believe in yourself, finally. Believe in yourself. You are bigger than you think. You are better than you think. You are more powerful than you think. Believe in yourself. Go for it. Run with it.
Do you have things in your job that takes you to a state of flow? Those things will take you to that thing that you're looking for. Meaningful and a purposeful career, right? The Career Shift Radio Show, it is a show that aims at celebrating professionals who are doing great roles or great things in their space, you know? If you have somebody that you feel like, I want to celebrate this person, I want you to drop their name in the comment section. I'm going to look for them and I'm going to bring them here in the show. Now, if you like this content, if this content has been valuable to you, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe to my channel, and I want you to share this content to as many people as possible. And I want to promise one thing back to you. I'm going to make it better and better. Thank you, and let me see you in my next video.